We now return to the Comic Book Syndicate.
Hi guys, this is Mike L. from the Comic Book Syndicate. We're here at Detroit Comics again in Ferndale, Michigan. We're here with G.I. Jolie and Jeff. And we're here to talk about the biggest rating success of any recent superhero TV show, Supergirl.
Has it held up?
I don't know if it's held up. I think it's still doing better than most of them, which is good to know. But let's just talk about this. I mean...
Why is that?
Why? Well, I mean, okay,
think?
you know what? Obviously, the rating success of a pilot cannot be based on the quality of the show. It's based on speculation. What it does show, though, is that contrary to the myth perpetuated by white male comic book readers, female superheroes are popular, and there's a huge audience for them. I mean, my mother watched this pilot. So there are people out there that want to see a female superhero. Now, with this Supergirl show, let's be clear. The writing, unfortunately, not only is it shaky, it's not even as good as Arrow and Flash. Arrow and Flash both started out with these big mystery arcs. In Arrow, it was the island. In Flash, it was the mystery of Dr. Wells. Supergirl did not start out with anything. I'm really wondering, first of all, like, whenever you see a bad pilot, you go, didn't they know everyone was going to be watching? Why didn't they pull out their best writers for this one? But in the Supergirl pilot, they fit 13 episodes worth of subplots into this one episode. Like, oh yeah, and by the way, the prison crashed, and there's a million villains, and oh yeah, by the way, this is going on. Oh, by the way, your sister is actually this, and it's
and
like,
James Olsen.
Holy moly, yeah, and James Olsen, they could have spread that out over 13 episodes, right?
They could have, but I think the fear was also there that they really, like, no one's going to watch this, or everybody is going to watch this. And it turned out in her favor, in Supergirl's favor, that a lot of people watched it, and thank God that they crammed in as much as they could, and at least it was, like, really, I guess, interesting parts, because I think it kept, for the most part, like a mainstream viewership, it kept them locked into the show, because unfortunately they might not have if it was just like a slow burn for one season.
Jeff? Yeah.
I mean, I think that, like, the show struck me as very much run-of-the-mill superhero TV show, like kind of paint by numbers.
Yes.
Like every episode has some villain and some fighting and some thing that needs to be solved, but she's also kind of sassy and trying to figure out, like, be her alter
She's got
ego.
a lousy job.
And she has her
yeah,
like,
it's all of the cliches,
yeah.
which is fine.
Do you like the version of Supergirl that they're presenting for TV?
Yeah, growing up as somebody who doesn't know anything about Supergirl and is just assuming that this is going to be just a superpowered, like, just like Superman, but a girl, like, yeah, she is a person that I want to watch. Like, at the core, she's like a human that I want to watch on television.
The actor is charismatic enough for you?
Yeah, but, like, I don't care for her superhero storyline at all. Like, I don't. Like, is that bad? Like, I would rather have a show about... Yeah. It's
About what?
awful.
Yeah.
Well, it's like, there's, like, this prison full of, like, super-powered, like, villains, and she's got to fight them, but, like, Superman lives in Metropolis.
You know what?
Isn't he coming over to help? Yeah. It's just like, but I really just care how she's doing at the newspaper. Like,
yeah, what draws us into the character is the human aspect. Because I think that ultimately, in some ways, my problem with the new 52 Supergirl is that when you open it up and, like, from the moment you see her, like, she comes out wearing some
cool
crazy
boots.
ass, like, knee-high boots and no pants and, like, basically like a bathing suit, like it's all like crotch and.
Actually, I like the design of that costume, but I see where you're going though.
Like, and she's like, this is our Kryptonian garb. Like, she's wearing, like, some, like, crazy ass outfit that is, whether or not it looks good, is ultimately sort of like adolescent male conception of female superhero.
Looks good, yeah.
And I think that how do you create a female superhero who is both a woman and a superhero, so doesn't necessarily sacrifice her gender in order to be strong? Like,
of course, this is something
and isn't necessarily a adolescent male fantasy.
Yeah.
And I think Buffy does that because she is bad at things. She kicks ass, but then she's also a teenage girl, and she's like half the show is her like trying to figure out how to navigate high school.
And then this one, yeah, she's a young professional, and that's why I want to relate to her on a young professional level, and then also kind of see her like kick ass.
But the thing is, though, is that what this show has proven is where the New 52 failed is that this is not some badass version of Supergirl that's out to assassinate Superman. This is the 1959 version of Supergirl
that's right.
in the
That's
modern
right.
world, who's trying to struggle in her job and with a boyfriend and with her powers and having this cousin, but it's still the sweet, innocent Kara from the 1950s. And also this actress, Melissa Benoist, is
Stop.
absolutely beautiful, but also has this girl next door element. Like, she doesn't look like a supermodel, she looks like a regular person, but she's stunningly beautiful. And her acting, it is an overacting, and it is a CBS show, and it is a soap opera, but she's so charismatic, and she's great on camera. And I think all the actors are great. I think they have all the elements. They just have to get better writing. But there's enough there that I'm still watching. You guys are going to keep watching Supergirl.
Yeah, I'm not gonna make like a huge deal about like, oh my god, I missed it. Like, I'm not gonna DVR it either.
I am. Jeff, are you going to DVR the show?
I would keep watching it. I'm not in any way passionate about it. It doesn't stand out as spectacular. So.
No. The writing needs to improve, but the actresses, specifically one in particular, Melissa Benoist, she'll keep me coming back every week, no matter what. I will DVR the show.
Well, if we're gonna point out eye candy, hello James Olsen.
Yeah.
You're gonna keep me coming back. Can we just make a show about him?
So here we go. There's something there that the modern DC writer should not disregard, and they have with the New 52 reboot, but luckily the TV show has captured that magic, even though the writing is not great. The character is there, right? It's the true character. And for that reason, the show is recommended. And I hope that by the time this airs, they've improved the writing a little bit. Because if they don't, they're going to lose their viewers. But they started out big, and hopefully they can keep it going, right? Supergirl, there you go. There you have it.
If a show about a female superhero can beat out shows about male superheroes,
I'm all for it.
That's fine.
Doesn't matter.
Oh, we're gonna start talking now? Okay.
Yep.